In this video, I'm going to explain you how to use GUI entities. So GUI entities are basically the entities that allow you to create any type of user interface and interactions, and they allow you to create panels, models, any type of interaction that you want to create. So the GUI entities can live either in 3D or 2D. If I drag, for example, on the Add Entities section, you see here the container. Container is, imagine it like a div, okay? So it's kind of a div in HTML. So I'll drag it to the scene, and you see this is a black container. And this container is just a square, okay, that lives in 3D. If I scroll down in the Add Entities section, I see the text. Don't confuse it with the 3D text, because 3D text is not a GUI entity. And if I drag and drop this GUI text, as I have the container selected, I will add it as a child. What is happening right now is it's a container and the text as child of the container. And if we click the GUI container, we scroll down and we see the GUI properties section. And this is the property section that will allow you to customize. If you already have experience with other design tools, this follows the same principles, so it will be easier for you. Or else it's intuitive to learn and you can try it as well. The important things to know are like the states. So the default state is where we are now, and the hover state. So this only affects GUI properties and GUI entities. And if I have something different like sizes or font size when I hover the text, I could do this with the states. And we can see that we can customize parameters like the scroll bar, for example, the scroll bar of the container, because if we have enough content that overflows this size, it will create a scroll bar horizontally or vertically, and you can customize the scroll bar as well. And the layout, for example, I want the text to be in the middle of the container, for example. So I scroll down a bit and I see the align items and the center justified. If you see here, if you hover the entity, you see that the text is occupying the whole width of the container. So if I want to center the text, I need to go to the text itself, and we see that we have some different properties still inside the GUI properties. We still have, and we can change the text, for example, and we can change the font family. We have default fonts, but you can also upload your own fonts and they will show up here. But what I want is the text align. So I will do the text align as centered, and you can see that the text is now centered in the container. Let's say, for example, I want to add some rounded borders. You have that as well. So if you scroll down, you see paddings, margins, size. In the border section, we have the radius. I'll turn on the link values because I want all the borders, and I will do like 20 pixels, and you can see that it applied 20 pixels border radius on the container. But let me show you different behaviors of this container. For example, the container is now living in 3D. Imagine that you want it to be in 2D. You just simply go to the parent container or the containers that you want to drag, and you drag it as a child of the screen. And you can see that it's now applied in 2D in the screen, because the screen is full screen, okay? So it applies the whole viewport as a screen. And if you click the screen itself, you can see that it also has GUI properties as well. So imagine that I want the container to be on the bottom right part. So for example, what I would do is make it align to the end. So it's now here, and make it justify to this place. Okay, so now it's on the bottom right part of the UI. And this is very flexible, because all the UIs that you do in 3D or 2D, they work because if I duplicate this, for example, and take it out of the screen, for example, to here, you see that it comes back to the 3D position again. Okay, and this is very flexible because it allows you to create a lot of possibilities of UI possibilities for mobile, for XR headsets where you only see 3D UIs, not 2D UIs in the headsets when you are in immersive mode. So it's very useful to create with this. And you can use images as well. So for example, if I drag this image to the scene, you see that this is an image. You see that this is also considered as a GUI image. So if I, for example, drag it to inside the GUI container that we have in 3D, for example, you see that the image is now inside the container. And if I scroll a bit, you see that it's scrolling the image. Right now the image is very large because the container is smaller and we are in 3D, so we use absolute sizes, let's say it like that. For example, if I want the container to be width and height sizes the same as the image or the same as the content inside the container, I could change this to auto, and the width and the height to auto, and you see that right now it's like applying the whole image size and the text. So the text is here and the image is full width in here as well. You can also play with other parameters, but what I want to show you next is I will drag this container again to the screen, and as you can see, it's way larger in the screen, because the screen takes the containers in pixels. It's not the same size, the same real visual size that you see when it's in 3D. So we have to adjust some things. Maybe sometimes it's making the image smaller. For example, I can do like 200, and you can see that now I can see the image in here. The order also matters, because if I switch the order of the children in the screen, you see that they change to the top. One other important tool that it will help you on building your own UIs is if you come to the options and you turn on the GUI view tools. You can see that the view tools allow me to work on several breakpoints and different dimensions. Right now the scale is 100%, so it's the real scale where that will show on the devices. Let me reset these properties real quick. So we see that right now they are in this top left side. But imagine that I want to really understand what are the sizes of my UIs. So what I do is I turn on the ruler. Okay. So in the ruler, you see that we have the real pixels that show on my viewport. Okay, because right now I have this ruler with this entity with 200 and 200, and it matches the ruler. Okay, so it will help you a lot when you have a lot of UIs. You can also drag a guideline, for example, like this. So you press and you drop the guideline like this. It can be also useful to build your own UIs. So I can do it vertically or horizontally, and it will help you do the UI. One other thing which is also important, right now I'm working on the desktop breakpoint, okay, and we have tablet and mobile breakpoints. This is important because usually it's recommended to start working on desktop breakpoint, or because if you are developing for desktop, but if you start developing for mobile, it will do the same. But one important thing is that the things that you build on desktop will cascade down to the other breakpoints, and if you start working on mobile, they will cascade. They will use it as a default because they don't have any other properties set on desktop and tablet, so you're good to go as well. But if I, for example, have started working on desktop, and for example, if I select the mobile and, for example, go to the container and change the color, for example, of the background, you can see if I go to the desktop, it's applying the black color because I just set it on mobile. Okay, so this is important. Okay, so it's important for responsive layouts that you need to do. When I changed the breakpoints, the scale applied automatically to 65%. This scale is just relative to the scale of the UI. Okay, it doesn't matter on 3D. So we want to really show you the real size and the real visual size when you have bigger screens, for example. You can always change it back to 100%, and it will adjust the ruler and the width automatically. Okay. You can also set, for example, if I drag this section or just make it different like this, you see this little guideline here, and you can see that I can adjust the width of the viewport that's different from selecting the breakpoint. So I can adjust the width or here in the field or here. So yeah, this is the basic tutorial about GUIs. We will have more advanced tutorials about GUIs because it's really flexible, and I hope you understood it, and see you on